Welcome, esteemed gentlemen. The wrong partner can turn even the mightiest into mere shadows of themselves. Sigma males, those enigmatic lone wolves of the social hierarchy, are known for their independence, mystery, and unshakable focus. But here's the catch. Even the sharpest minds and strongest wills can be derailed by choosing the wrong person to share their lives with. Did you know studies suggest that the quality of your relationships directly impacts your mental health, career success, and even lifespan? So for a Sigma male, someone who thrives on clarity and purpose, getting involved with the wrong woman isn't just inconvenient, it's outright hazardous. Picture this: you, a Sigma male, carefully navigating life like a chess master, only to have someone flip the board because they felt like it. Sounds frustrating? That's exactly why knowing who to avoid is crucial. Some women can inspire you to reach the stars, while others will have you questioning why you even left the ground in the first place. And let's be honest, no amount of smoldering eyes or witty comebacks can compensate for someone draining your peace, energy, or freedom. This isn't about bashing anyone, it's about guarding your unique, powerful essence. So buckle up as we uncover the types of women every Sigma male should avoid like a bad Wi-Fi connection. Number 1. The identity chameleon. The identity chameleon is a woman who doesn't truly know who she is. She shifts her personality, interests, and even values to fit in with whoever she's around at the moment. It might seem harmless at first. After all, adaptability can be an attractive quality, but the problem lies in the absence of a stable foundation. For a Sigma male who is deeply rooted in authenticity and self-awareness, this kind of person can quickly become a source of frustration and confusion. What makes this type so incompatible is that the Sigma male thrives on depth and truth. He values people who stand firm in their individuality, even when it's inconvenient or unpopular. The identity chameleon, on the other hand, operates out of a fear of rejection or an insatiable need for acceptance, constantly molding herself to match external expectations. This creates a surface-level connection that feels hollow, artificial, and exhausting. Over time, being with someone like this becomes emotionally draining. There's no room for growth or a genuine bond because everything is built on a shaky foundation. One day, she's passionate about the same books, philosophies, or hobbies as you. The next, she's mirroring someone else entirely. It leaves you wondering, who is she, really? Worse still, you might find yourself second-guessing your own values and instincts, caught in the whirlwind of her shifting persona. A Sigma male doesn't need someone to be just like him. He values differences. But those differences need to be real, not just a mask. If a woman can't stand on her own 2 feet emotionally and intellectually, she'll only create a dynamic of dependence and confusion. For a man who walks his own path, carrying someone else's identity crisis isn't just a distraction. It's a deal breaker. At number 2, the narcissistic saboteur. The narcissistic saboteur is a master of charm and manipulation, drawing you in with her confidence and magnetism. At first glance, she seems like a strong, self-assured woman who knows what she wants. But beneath the polished exterior lies a darker truth. Her self-worth thrives on control, dominance, and the subtle destruction of others' confidence. For a Sigma male who values mutual respect and emotional balance, this dynamic is not just incompatible, it's toxic. What makes her particularly dangerous is how stealthy her tactics can be. She doesn't come out swinging with obvious criticism or blatant sabotage. Instead, she chips away at your peace and self-assurance through passive-aggressive comments, backhanded compliments, or subtle undermining. One moment she's praising your independence, and the next she's planting seeds of doubt about your decisions. She might dismiss your goals as unrealistic, or downplay your achievements to ensure the spotlight remains on her. Over time, these behaviors can erode even the strongest sense of self. For a Sigma male who thrives on his inner confidence and self-reliance, this kind of manipulation is both infuriating and deeply unsettling. He doesn't need someone to validate him, but he does expect his partner to respect and support his individuality. The narcissistic saboteur does the opposite. She sees his strength as a threat and works tirelessly to bring him down to a level where she can feel superior. The real danger of this relationship is its insidious nature. By the time her patterns become clear, the damage is often already done. A Sigma male must recognize the warning signs early: an inability to celebrate his wins, constant comparisons, or a need to make everything about her. The narcissistic saboteur isn't just someone to avoid. She's someone who can unravel even the most focused and self-assured man. Number 3, the dramatic junkie. The drama junkie is addicted to chaos. For her, peace is boring and stability feels suffocating. She thrives on arguments, tension, and emotional roller coasters, often stirring up conflict for no other reason than to feel alive. For a Sigma male, who values calm, clarity, and emotional control, being with someone like this is like living in a constant storm. It's exhausting and, frankly, intolerable. Her methods can be subtle or outright explosive. She might blow minor inconveniences out of proportion, turn misunderstandings into full-blown fights, or pick at insecurities to provoke a reaction. To her, every disagreement is an opportunity to create a dramatic scene. It's not about resolving issues or growing together. It's about feeding her need for attention and emotional intensity. Even when things seem calm, she's likely to stir up drama out of nowhere, just to disrupt the peace. The real issue is the emotional toll this behavior takes. A Sigma male carefully protects his mental energy, focusing on his goals, passions, and the people who truly matter. The drama junkie, on the other hand, is like an emotional black hole, constantly pulling him into situations that serve no purpose but to create chaos. Her actions don't just disrupt his peace, they distract him from the things that truly matter, leaving him feeling drained and unfulfilled. What makes her particularly challenging is her unpredictability. One moment she's sweet and charming, the next she's stirring up arguments over trivial matters. This inconsistency can leave even the most grounded Sigma male questioning his own sanity. For someone who values balance and rationality, being with a drama junkie isn't just a bad match. It's a threat to the very foundation of his well-being. At number 4, the queen of validation. The queen of validation lives for external approval. Her worth is measured by the likes on her social media posts, the compliments she receives, or how many people notice her new outfit. While everyone appreciates recognition to some degree, she takes it to the extreme, treating validation as a necessity rather than a bonus. For a Sigma male who finds fulfillment within himself and doesn't seek constant external acknowledgement, this type of woman can be draining and even unsettling. The issue lies in the imbalance. A Sigma male is someone who operates on a foundation of self-assuredness. He knows his value and doesn't need the world's applause to feel complete. But the queen of validation is the exact opposite. Her sense of self is like a bucket with a hole. It constantly needs refilling, and no amount of praise seems to be enough. This creates a dynamic where her need for validation becomes a burden, as she either demands constant reassurance or places her happiness in things that don't really matter. Even worse, her obsession with external approval can lead to shallow priorities. Instead of focusing on meaningful goals or deeper connections, she might prioritize appearances, social clout, or superficial relationships. Over time, this can feel hollow for a Sigma male who values depth, substance, and quiet confidence. Instead of growing together as a team, her constant need for outside validation leaves little room for building something real. A Sigma male doesn't have the patience or the energy to keep propping up someone else's self-worth, especially when it's dependent on fleeting attention from others. For him, a partner should bring stability, not constant chaos rooted in insecurity. The queen of validation, no matter how charming, can never provide that. Instead, she's a distraction from the meaningful, authentic life he's built. Number 5, the anti-investor. The anti-investor is the kind of woman who brings little to the table but expects everything in return. In the beginning, she may seem carefree, even charmingly laid back, but her true nature shows when it's time to contribute, emotionally, intellectually, or even financially. She's all about taking but rarely giving, leaving her partner to do the heavy lifting in the relationship. For a Sigma male who values balance, fairness, and mutual effort, this type of dynamic is a non-starter. The problem isn't just about fairness, it's about respect. A Sigma male invests in his life, his goals, and his relationships with purpose and intention. He doesn't expect perfection, but he does expect a partner who's willing to match his effort. The anti-investor, however, treats relationships like a one-sided transaction. Whether it's always expecting him to make the plans, carry the emotional weight during tough times, or support her financially without offering anything meaningful in return, her lack of effort becomes glaringly obvious. What makes it worse is her sense of entitlement. She's not just passive. She believes she deserves the rewards of a relationship without putting in the work. She may even disguise her lack of effort as a personality trait, calling herself low maintenance, or saying she doesn't like to overthink things. But in reality, she's simply avoiding responsibility, leaving her partner to pick up the slack. For a Sigma male whose independence and self-sufficiency define him, this imbalance is unbearable. He doesn't need a partner to do everything for him, but he needs someone who's willing to share the journey, not just coast along for the ride. The anti-investor isn't just incompatible. She's the kind of partner who drains the very energy and ambition that make a Sigma male who he is. Number 6. The overly controlling micromanager. The overly controlling micromanager is a woman who believes everything in the relationship must go her way, or it won't work. From small daily decisions to major life goals, she insists on taking the wheel, often without considering her partner's input. At first, her decisiveness might seem admirable, but over time it becomes suffocating. For a Sigma male who thrives on autonomy and self-direction, this type of behavior is a direct attack on his independence and sense of balance. Her control extends to every corner of the relationship. She might insist on planning every date, dictating how and when certain milestones should happen, or even monitoring things like spending habits or social interactions. It's not about collaboration. It's about her need to have the final say. She often justifies her behavior by framing it as being organized or helping things run smoothly. But in reality, it stems from a deep-seated mistrust or a fear of losing control. The problem is that Sigma males are natural leaders of their own lives. They don't mind compromise or input from a partner, but they expect decisions to be made together with mutual respect. The micromanager's relentless need to dominate every aspect of the relationship not only erodes that respect, but also creates a dynamic where the Sigma feels undermined and untrusted. For a Sigma male, this type of relationship is stifling and ultimately unworkable. He values a partner who can stand confidently beside him, not someone who constantly tries to steer him in a direction he didn't choose. The overly controlling micromanager doesn't just make the relationship stressful, she turns it into a battlefield of power struggles, leaving no room for the freedom, trust, and respect that a Sigma male holds sacred. Number 7. The material worshiper. The material worshiper is a woman whose entire world revolves around appearances, brands, and the pursuit of material wealth. Her definition of success is shallow, tied to luxury items, status symbols, and what others think of her lifestyle. While there's nothing wrong with appreciating nice things, her obsession with the superficial comes at the cost of deeper values, personal growth, and genuine connection. For a Sigma male who prioritizes substance and authenticity, this kind of woman is not just unappealing, she's incompatible with his entire outlook on life. What makes her particularly problematic is her fixation on external validation. To her, the worth of a person, relationship, or achievement is measured by how much it glitters. Whether it's pressuring her partner to buy expensive gifts, boasting about designer labels, or constantly chasing social clout, her priorities revolve around impressing others rather than building something meaningful. For a Sigma male who values quiet success and inner fulfillment, this behavior feels hollow and exhausting. The material worshiper often overlooks the intangibles that truly define a relationship: trust, loyalty, growth, and mutual respect. Instead, she equates love with financial gestures and measures happiness by how well her partner can feed her desire for luxury. Over time, this dynamic can leave the Sigma male feeling used, unappreciated, and disconnected from the relationship's core purpose. The biggest clash comes from their differing worldviews. A Sigma male focuses on long-term goals, self-sufficiency, and living a life aligned with his values. The material worshiper, on the other hand, is distracted by temporary pleasures and societal expectations. In the end, she's not just a mismatch. She represents everything a Sigma male actively avoids: superficiality, dependency, and a lack of depth. Number 8. The energy vampire. The energy vampire is the kind of woman who leaves you feeling drained every time you're around her. She doesn't bring light or balance into a relationship. Instead, she thrives on negativity, constant complaints, and a sense of perpetual dissatisfaction. No matter how much you try to lift her spirits or provide solutions, she seems committed to staying in her own emotional darkness. For a Sigma male, who guards his energy like a precious resource and carefully invests it in things that matter, this type of person is an absolute no-go. Her presence can feel suffocating. She'll fixate on problems instead of solutions, magnify minor inconveniences into major crises, and always find something to criticize, even in the best of situations. Over time, her negativity starts to seep into every interaction, turning what could be a meaningful connection into a constant drain on mental and emotional energy. The Sigma male, who values peace and purpose, will quickly find himself feeling trapped and unmotivated in her company. What makes the energy vampire particularly destructive is her resistance to change. While everyone has bad days, this woman seems to make negativity her default setting. She rarely takes responsibility for her own unhappiness, instead shifting the burden onto those around her. The Sigma male, who thrives on personal growth and accountability, can't and won't carry the weight of someone else's unresolved issues, especially when she shows no interest in working on them. A Sigma male seeks a partner who adds value to his life, someone who inspires, supports, and uplifts. The energy vampire does the exact opposite. She saps his strength and distracts him from his goals. For someone who treasures his independence and emotional well-being, this kind of relationship isn't just counterproductive, it's unsustainable. Number 9. The overcompetitive egoist. The overcompetitive egoist is the type of woman who turns everything into a contest, constantly needing to prove that she's superior, even in the most mundane aspects of life. Whether it's a casual conversation, a decision-making process, or even a friendly game, she can't help but treat every interaction as a challenge she must win. For a Sigma male who thrives on collaboration and values mutual respect, this constant need to compete is not just tiresome, it's a deal-breaker. While ambition and self-worth are admirable qualities, the overcompetitive egoist takes them to an extreme. It's not enough for her to be good at something, she must always be the best. And if her partner isn't on the same level, she'll go out of her way to prove her dominance, even if it means belittling his accomplishments or dismissing his ideas. Every conversation becomes a battle of who knows more or who's achieved more, leaving little room for true connection or understanding. For a Sigma male, whose strength lies in his independence and quiet confidence, this type of dynamic is both draining and counterproductive. He doesn't need to be constantly pitted against his partner, and he certainly doesn't want to feel like he's in a relationship with someone who sees him as a rival instead of an ally. He values depth, communication, and cooperation, not constant power struggles. Over time, this relentless competition erodes the foundation of a healthy relationship. Instead of building each other up, the overcompetitive egoist fosters an environment of insecurity, one-upmanship, and resentment. A Sigma male doesn't have the time or energy for someone who can't stop treating their partnership like a game. He seeks someone who can share in successes, collaborate on challenges, and genuinely support him, not someone who sees him as a threat to her own ego. Number 10. The serial complainer. The serial complainer is the type of woman who seems perpetually dissatisfied with everything around her. No matter how good things may be, she always finds something to criticize, whether it's life, people, or even the Sigma male himself. Her perspective is colored by negativity, and it becomes exhausting to interact with her because there's never a positive moment or genuine appreciation for what's working. While feedback can be valuable in a relationship, constant complaints signal a mindset that's more focused on problems than solutions, and that's something a Sigma male simply cannot tolerate. For a Sigma male who is laser-focused on growth, efficiency, and meaningful progress, A partner who is always complaining represents a major roadblock. He thrives on action and problem-solving, so when faced with someone who sees every situation as a setback or obstacle, he quickly grows frustrated. Complaining, in her mind, is a way of expressing dissatisfaction, but to him, it's just noise. It's the complete opposite of the constructive dialogue he craves. The issue with the serial complainer is that she rarely offers solutions or takes responsibility for her own role in situations. Instead of addressing issues directly or looking for ways to improve things, she defaults to whining and blaming others, whether it's about work, people, or even his actions. This becomes a pattern, and it begins to feel like she's emotionally stuck in a cycle of negativity. For the Sigma male, who values personal responsibility and initiative, this lack of forward momentum can be frustrating and counterproductive. The serial complainer isn't just difficult to be around. She creates a toxic environment that stifles growth. For someone who thrives on solving problems and moving forward, a constant barrage of complaints feels like an anchor, dragging him down into the negativity she feeds on. Ultimately, the Sigma male doesn't need someone who constantly highlights what's wrong. He needs a partner who's willing to focus on what's possible and how to make things better. In the end, the Sigma male is not just someone who values independence and strength. He also seeks a partner who mirrors his commitment to growth, authenticity, and depth. Relationships for him aren't about drama, competition, or superficiality. They're about mutual respect, emotional balance, and shared journeys. A Sigma male doesn't need someone who constantly drains him, challenges his peace, or forces him to navigate a minefield of negativity. He values partners who inspire him, challenge him in meaningful ways, and enrich his life without undermining his essence. The types of women outlined here are not just mismatches. They represent fundamental obstacles to the Sigma male's most precious resource: his energy, focus, and peace of mind. Life is already filled with enough complexity, and he has little interest in adding unnecessary complications. He seeks authenticity, growth, and partnership, not endless emotional turmoil or superficial games. At the end of the day, a Sigma male will walk his path alone if it means preserving his integrity and happiness. He doesn't settle for anything less than a partner who can walk beside him, not in front of him nor behind him, but alongside, building, growing, and thriving together. So, if you're a Sigma male, trust your instincts, be selective, be strategic, and most importantly, be true to yourself. The right partner will never drain you, they'll lift you up, and that's the kind of connection worth fighting for. If you found value in this deep dive into what the Sigma male needs and doesn't need when it comes to relationships, then don't miss out on more insightful content. Hit that subscribe button now and stay tuned for more discussions that go beyond the surface, diving into what truly makes people tick and how to build meaningful, fulfilling connections. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Subscribe now and let's keep this journey going.